3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
Now, riding dirt jumps can be a lot of fun, but not on the wrong bike. You're here because you like to ride dirt jumps or pump tracks and you're trying to figure out which bike is the best. Well, I've organized a list of the top 3 BMX bikes for dirt-specific riding. Let's get right into it. Hey there, my name's Douglas. I run DougsterBob.com and this YouTube channel, and I want to help you find the perfect BMX bike. Now, dirt riding is very tough, but having the right bike makes it easier. Certain dirt-specific bikes have different gearing, different geometry angles, and a handful of other things to make dirt riding as easy as possible. So how do you know which bike is right? Well, you can watch this video where I'm going to give you the 3 bikes that are perfect for dirt riding, but you could also request a free bike recommendation and I can find you the right bike based on your height, your budget, your skill level, because here's the reality. These bikes in this video might not be right for you, even though they're the best for dirt riding. There's a lot of things that come into finding the perfect BMX bike, and I don't want you to get the wrong bike. So click here, fill out the free bike recommendation request so that I can get one sent out to you as soon as possible. Now, the 3 bikes on the list, number 3 is the Sunday Darkwave. Number 2 is the Fly Orion, and number 3 is the We the People Revolver. The We the People Revolver is the only bike so far to score a perfect 10 in the dirt score on the Dougsterbob app. So I'm going to go through and explain to you why these bikes deserve to be on this top 3 list. And there's a very in-depth video for each of these bikes on my channel, and I'll link those in the description. If you want to learn a little bit more about each of these bikes, watch the in-depth review because I'm just going to graze the surface here. Now, starting with the Sunday Darkwave, it weighs 24.75 pounds. It's going to cost you $1,349. The top tube size is a 21.25 inch top tube, and it scores a perfect 10 in quality. So you know this is a high quality bike, but because of the 21.25 inch top tube, it's only going to be good for taller riders. When we look at the quality of this bike, I'm absolutely blown away. The frame is the aftermarket Sunday Darkwave frame, which is actually the frame that I'm riding. It doesn't have the lifetime warranty like the Sunday Soundwave frame, but this frame is seriously strong and it's going to withstand lots of riding. The bars are also full chromoly 41 thermal Odyssey Baroque bars. These are aftermarket bars that would cost you about $70 if you bought them separately. It has full chromoly Odyssey Thunderbolt cranks, which are a 2.5 piece crank system with a lifetime warranty. And it's rolling on double-walled, flash-welded Odyssey Hazard Light rims. Now, the Dougsterbob app scores this bike very high in street, but it also scores it high enough in dirt to make it at the number 3 spot on the top 3 dirt-specific bikes. The biggest reason for that higher dirt score is because of the bigger geometry. When you're riding dirt jumps, you want a mellow bike that can feel nice and stable and nice and controlled when you're going at high speeds. So the gist of it is that this is a very, very high quality BMX bike that is very capable of riding dirt jumps and pump tracks. The bigger geometry is going to make you feel comfortable on there, and the quality of the bike is going to ensure you that if you crash, your parts aren't going to snap and they're not going to kill you. So having that peace of mind in the back of your head while you're doing these dirt jumps and everything is going to make riding dirt jumps a lot more fun. But also the geometry, the dirt, the bigger sprocket in front. There's so many things about this bike that make it a good dirt specific bike. You're gonna have to watch the in-depth review to understand exactly what that is, but just know it's a really good bike and it's number 3 on the list. Let's talk about the next bike. Number 2 on the list is the Fly Orion. And if you know anything about Fly's bikes, you know that they're seriously high quality. Fly puts a lot of work and a lot of effort into their BMX bikes to make sure that they can withstand any kind of riding. Now, one thing I've noticed is that most of Fly bikes tend to have bigger geometry, which is going to make pretty much all of them score a little bit higher in dirt, which is one of the reasons the Orion is on this list. The Fly Orion is going to weigh 25.1 pounds. It's going to cost you $719. It scores a 7.1 in quality and it comes in a 21 inch top tube size. So just a 1/4 of an inch smaller than the Darkwave, but again, 21 inches is for taller riders, guys who are over 6 foot. So this bike is geared for taller riders, and the 7.1 quality is pretty impressive. Now the frame, forks, and bars are full chromoly. They're not aftermarket chromoly like the Sunday Darkwave, but they are still full chromoly. The main difference here is that there's not as much love put into the way these bars are made. They don't have the heat treating and things like that put into it. The forks come with a 1-piece steer tube, and the bars are 2-piece instead of 4-piece. The cranks are full chromoly with an 8-spline spindle, and the rims are double wall fly pyramid aftermarket rims. Unlike the Darkwave, this bike does score highest in dirt, and the reason for that, like I said, is the more mellow geometry, the dirt specific tires, the high quality, and the bigger sprocket in the front. The bigger sprocket in the front is going to give you more top speed, and it's also going to make it easier to catch up speed if you are to case a jump in the middle of a set. So this bike is geared specifically for dirt riding, but the quality is not as good as the number 1 on the list, which we'll get into in a minute. So that's why this is number 2 on our list. Number 1 on the list is the We the People Revolver. This makes an appearance in the free bike recommendations periodically if someone emails me and says, hey, I'm a really tall rider, but I want the highest quality dirt specific bike that I can get. This is the one they're gonna get on their free bike recommendation. This bike has quality all over it, but unlike the Darkwave, it scores a perfect 10 in dirt. So it's a high quality bike like the Darkwave, but geared more towards dirt riding. So this is the most serious dirt specific BMX bike that you can get. It's gonna weigh 25.85 pounds. It's gonna cost you $1,149. It comes in a 21-inch top tube, and the quality score is a 9.4. Again, this bike is only best for riders who are over 6 foot. It costs a little bit less than the Darkwave, but the quality score is a lot higher than the Fly Orion. This is the perfect dirt specific bike. When we look at the quality of this bike, I'm blown away. I'm blown away with the Darkwave. I'm blown away with this bike. It's crazy. The frame is the aftermarket We the People Revolver frame, which is full of chromoly with Senko Japanese tubing, and also has an invest cast wishbone, which makes the bike a little bit heavier, but it adds extra room for fatter tires. So now you can run your favorite 2.4 tires with the Stranger XXLT rims, which is pretty cool. You can't do that on very many frames. The forks are aftermarket E-Claw Storm forks, which are heat treated Senko chromoly just like the frame. Now the bars aren't aftermarket, and this is where the We the People Revolver gets a ding in the quality score. Everything else is aftermarket for the most part, but the bars are just normal full chromoly 2-piece handlebars. The cranks are We the People Logic aftermarket cranks. They come with a 48 spline spindle, and the rims are We the People Revolver double wall flash welded rims. The park and the street scores aren't nearly what the dirt score is on this bike. Like I said, this is the only bike so far in any lineup that I've seen to score a perfect 10 in dirt. This bike has the mellow geometry, has dirt specific tires, it has a bigger sprocket in the front, it's on a cassette. Like everything about this bike is geared just towards dirt riding, and it's the best dirt specific BMX bike that you can buy. So in spot number 3, we had the Sunday Darkwave, which is a very high quality BMX bike that scored fairly high in dirt, even though its main calling was street. Next, we had the Fly Orion, which wasn't the highest quality bike, but it was fairly affordable compared to the Revolver and the Darkwave, and it scored very high in dirt. But then in spot number 1, we had the high quality, aftermarket, perfect dirt scoring We the People Revolver, which is the best BMX bike for taller riders who want a serious dirt specific bike. There are tons of helpful tools in the description that will help you figure out which BMX bike is perfect for you. Again, don't forget the free bike recommendation request so that I can give you a free bike recommendation. And did you agree or disagree with this list? Which bike would you have put in the top 3? Let me know in the comments below.